then you like started in the swimming career, and when you like see on the TV, I believe like swimming seems like an individual game, but you would say like is success is also like individual, or no, no, like you need a team, you need a people around you. Even in the today's world, like if you are just solopreneur or a person like starting a small business, do you think like they can make it successful by just themselves, or you need people around you? What would you say?
Yeah, I certainly think that. I mean, oftentimes it's that expression that says, it takes a village to raise a child, kind of thing. And in terms of my career, all the medals that I've won, all the awards that I've won, I don't stand up there. I mean, I may stand up there alone, but certainly I don't think that way.
Mhm.
I got inducted into Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame, and my parents were instrumental in my career. I had friends and family who pushed me. I had many great coaches who I think about during those times. And anytime that you watch a broadcast of a sporting event, especially I think back to like when the Stanley Cup has been awarded, and it's a very common question if you're a hockey fan to
Yeah.
watch the announcers say, "Who do you think about in this moment? Who do you share this with?" And there's a reason that question is asked, is because you're not going to go through life by yourself, right? If you're married with kids, your spouse is back home taking care of the kids. There's somebody who drove you to that early morning hockey practice. There's a teacher who helped you with school while you were maybe needed to take some time off, or a tutor or something like that. So there's all sorts of people, a massage therapist to put you back together when you were falling apart, that help in that journey. And even it might be a small part, but
Mhm.
that small little piece is what you needed at that moment. So that's why it's a collective team effort.
I think like that's why like we always say like you should always be grateful for everything like happening in your life, because that's like compounding in your success, I would say. uh, and you whenever like we see even in the business world, like we see like business leader, we see so many on YouTube, even the athletes, when you interview, like there's one thing common in each of them. They would always say like when they reach on the top, they would always say that they made sacrifice throughout the process that make them to be there. What would you say? Like I always listen to it, like I always read it as well, like you made sacrifices, you need to make some sacrifices. Could you suggest us like what are sacrifices we're talking here? Like what type of sacrifices do you really need to become successful in any craft, in if in sports, if in business, or if like in entrepreneurship, in YouTube channel, like what type of sacrifices we really talk about?
Yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit off the cuff here and say that during my swimming career, I didn't sacrifice one thing. And you
Hmm.
often hear people talk about, you're right, I sacrificed this, I sacrificed that.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't go to dances when I was in grade 11 and 12, and I sacrificed going on dates or going out with my friends drinking when you're old enough, or, I sacrificed watching my favorite sports team play. But if you think about what the nature of what you're sacrificing, the nature of what you're getting. So I didn't stay up late to watch my favorite hockey team play because I got up early to better myself. And when you think about that, is that really a sacrifice? If the goal is to always push forward and always be better. So my personal model was, I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. And you can't do that by sleeping in. You can't do that by not, I mean, you can sleep in if it's like a Sunday, you don't have workout, but I'm saying if you have workout, get up there and go do it. So there's going to be times where you're going to have to give things up. Um, but I did so willingly because I knew that I was pushing myself more towards the podium. So it's not a sacrifice if it meant winning a gold medal. It's not a sacrifice if it meant setting a world record. So that's the same thing in life. There's going to be times that things are going to come up. As a parent, if there's a show on TV that you really want to watch, whatever the case may be, and your son or daughter has homework, your son or daughter needs you for something, your son or daughter needs your attention, whatever the case may be. Is that a sacrifice? You can't watch the TV show? Not really, because you're investing your time in helping your child be better, and that's more important.
Mhm.
So you could see it as a sacrifice. Oh, you didn't watch the Oscars last night? That's too bad. What happened? Well, I was helping my daughter or my son or whatever, or I was volunteering at a soup kitchen, you know, for the betterment of other people, then that's not to me, that's not a sacrifice, because the sacrifice to me is the ultimate. You know, I wanted to do that. I didn't, because I was doing something else with almost no gain. Right. So, anyways, yeah.
No, definitely. And if you think like you said like that, those are not sacrifice. But if you're like doing something that are like pushing you hard, like you are doing self growth, how would you suggest like what should do, like how you would coach someone to be so much motivated that they can get up early so they don't like watch night shows, or what can they do like to be keep motivated to keep pushing themselves ahead, and then they can like, achieve that goal that which they had in their mind.
Well, I think that answer comes from within, you know, in terms of getting up in the morning and stuff like that. It's like little things like, my wife has an Apple Watch, and she's playing a game with a friend who's basically, you know, who can work out the most. And you know, in terms of like the sacrifices in the morning, you just have to take stock of what you want in your life. You know, so you have to say, well, I want to, you know, want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to, you know, get you know, tone up my abs, or whatever the case may be, or I want to learn that language. And then you got to think, well, can I do it between 9 and 5? I'm working full time, so I really can't. So then you have to basically, that's where goal setting comes in. You know, I'm going to get up 3 times a week. I'm going to get up at 6:45. I'm going to study from 7 till 8, and then I'm going to get ready for work, and I'm going to go work from 9 to 10. Right. And a lot of people, especially myself, I can speak for myself and others I know, when you get up in the morning and do something, you feel so much better during the day, because you've accomplished something before most people even think about it. And when I say most people, I'm probably saying, you know, the good majority of people who didn't, and that may have been you, right? You may have like, you know, I work at 9, I get up at 8:15, take my shower, have my breakfast, and out the door, and I go to my office. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? And you know, so let's put that out there. There's nothing wrong with the everyday, but certain people want to go above and beyond that, and they want to be able to push themselves a little bit forward. When maybe you're running a marathon or a triathlon or something where you need to run, and you need to swim, and you need to bike, and where are you going to find the time? You know, where are you going to find the time when you've got responsibilities at the end of the day? You need to be able to fit that in.
Yeah.
But so many examples of people who have pushed the envelope and found the time.
Yeah.
And that, so I would suggest that do the best job you can in terms of that, but also maybe you know somebody, or maybe you go on LinkedIn or somewhere and try to find somebody that looks like they've accomplished some great things, right? Google 55-year-old triathlon who started for the first time, triathlete. Maybe there's a master's group. So get that support network, right? If you get that, then you can start seeing your way through and start to make you know, headway. And I also think the other thing I want to share is that one of the things I do when I do my motivational speaking is that about this idea about that we're each a book. And so if I was to read your book or anybody's book, how would the chapters go? Do the chapters just go, woke up in the morning, got ready for work, went to work, came back, helped my kids with their homework, watched TV with my spouse, went to bed? Perfectly fine. No problem. But is that how you see your life? And if you see your life as somebody who, you know, you want to be getting up in the morning, pushed myself, learned this language, did this, went for a run, then you're like, okay, if that's your story that you want to be told, then go and tell the story. Go out and make it happen. You know, I was reading about a friend of mine the other day. He got he was like, works out at 5:30 in the morning. Now I can't do that right now because I've got my kids and get my kids ready for school. But back in the day, I would have been okay getting up that early to push the limits. So do what's best for the listeners and the watchers, viewers. Do what's best for you. Do what's best in terms of your life, your goals, your situation. But I would encourage you, no matter what your age, no matter what your ability, if you want to do it, go and do it. You know, just get the support, write some things down. Maybe it's going to be a little bit tougher in this pandemic world that we live in right now, but in time, things probably will open up And this is a good time to take stock of where you are with your life right now, and where you want and how you want to get better. You know, are you somebody who has spent a lot of time over the last year in the pandemic and you're just like, this is too much? Start making plans so when this is over, to be better. Go for a run, go for a walk, do those little things that can clear your mind, because it's not just about physical health, it's about mental health.
Mhm.
And I think we can all just take a step back, breathe, and focus on what you want to do next time.